What's up, Iron Lion Nation? It's your boy Majillian here.
With Pasindu.
And today we're going to be teaching you guys how you can lose weight in a specific area of your body. So if you have flabby arms or fat tummy, we'll show you how you can get rid of that. And yes, it is possible. Let's get it. In this video, I'll be showing you guys the workout routines and the techniques we'll be using to target those specific parts of the body that we want to reduce the weight in. But on top of that, I'll be showing the scientific literature and the sources I use to come to this conclusion and to build that plan. Because guess what? I hate using bro science. Now, how is our body burning that fat? It's quite simple. What happens is we have a fat cell, and inside of that fat cell, we have triglycerides. Now, we can't directly use that triglyceride. First, the body has to break that into glycerol and into free fatty acids. After it's broken down, it enters the bloodstream, and then our body utilizes that fat in the blood to power ourselves. Now, if we don't burn all the fat in the bloodstream, guess what happens? It goes right back into the fat cell. Now, if you take a look at previous scientific literature, for example, this 1971 study, and this 2007 study, along with this 2013 study, it has shown that you cannot do targeted weight loss. For example, the participants of that study did resistance training, which is weight training, on specific body parts, for example, the arms, but they did not lose more fat in the arms. The conclusion of these studies was that the place and the rate of fat loss from those places was primarily determined by your genetics. Now, it should come as no surprise that that previous scientific literature was amended. So let's take a look at this 2017 study that showed it is quite possible to lose weight in a targeted specific area. Now, what it did was it had 35 participants split into two groups. Now, one group worked out upper body and the second group worked out lower body. The one thing that these two groups had in common was that after the resistance training, it was followed by 30 minutes of light cycling, which is low intensity steady state cardio. Now, what did this study find? Well, it found something quite interesting. It found out that the people that did the upper body workouts with the light cycling actually lost a tremendous amount of weight in their upper body and a lesser amount of weight in their lower body. And now to complement that data, the people that did the lower body resistance training lost more weight in the lower body than in their upper body. So now, how were these participants losing weight in that specific targeted area when all the previous studies showed that it was impossible? Simple. It was the cardio portion of it. So now, while the increased blood flow within that area, for example, the group that trained arms had increased blood flow in the arm area. So now that increased blood flow activated the fat cells and actually took out the glycerol and the free fatty acids from the triglyceride storage, and then the cardio burned it away once it was in the blood. Now, while it is really important that you start to utilize and activate the fat cells within that targeted area that you want to lose weight in, the most important part is you are using cardio right after doing that to burn off that fat in the blood. Now, if you don't burn that off, guess what happens? It's going to go right back to exactly where it came from. Now, the one caveat is that we have to use a specific type of cardio. And this cardio has to make your heart rate be within that 60 to 75% max heart rate zone. That is technically considered the fat burning zone. And I'll show you guys how you can calculate that right now. Now, to calculate that fat burning zone for the heart rate is quite simple. All you have to do is take 220 and minus it by your current age. So for example, Pasindu is 28. So we're going to do 220 minus 28, and his maximum heart rate is going to be 192. Now, to find that fat burning zone, all we have to do is multiply that number by 60 and 70%. So for him, his maximum heart rate, his fat burning zone would be at 115 and 134. Now, the way he can reach that heart rate zone is by doing something that is a light exercise. For example, if you do some slow jogging or some light cycling, those are the perfect choices for you, and the perfect time frame is 30 minutes. All right, so now I'll be building a sample workout routine to utilize this technique, and you can use the concept of this to build any targeted weight loss. Now, for this one, we're going to be talking about how to get rid of those flabby arms, like when you're waving and this is kind of like waving right back at you, right? So that is the tricep. Now, what you want to do is you want to pick 4 exercises that target that muscle. Now, for tricep, the 4 that I recommend is close grip bench press, followed by skull crushers, followed by tricep pushdowns, and you end it with a tricep kickback. Now the rep range is very important because you want to go for hypertrophy rep range. Now the hypertrophy rep range is 15 to 20. And after, you want to focus on the number of sets, which is usually 3 to 4 sets, whatever you can accomplish before you're fully fatigued and you can't move anymore, okay? Now, as soon as you finish that resistance training, you have to jump into that cardio. What I recommend personally is the bike machine. You're gonna do some light cycling and you're gonna do that for 30 minutes, or you're gonna jump on the treadmill, put the speed to about 5 or 6 miles per hour, and you're gonna walk on that or light jog for about 30 minutes as well. Now, the most important part is that your heart rate is within that fat burning zone. Remember, I taught you guys how to calculate that using the max heart rate and then the 60 and 70%. Yeah. You should know this by now. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So now we covered that it is actually quite possible to lose fat in specific areas as long as you're utilizing that special technique, right? So if you guys have any more suggestions, any comments, any concerns, make sure you drop something below. I usually reply within 30 to 40 minutes. And if I don't, I will. All right. So please subscribe. We'll be uploading more content along with vlogs of what I eat for a day, along with some of the beauty techniques I do and some of my favorite exercises. Whatever it is, stay tuned. Great things are coming. Let's get these gains.